Welcome to 5 Minute English.
Hello.
Today, we're diving into something that's, it's increasingly shaping your day-to-day life, generative AI.
Absolutely. It's popping up everywhere.
Yeah, and we've got some really interesting material looking at how these tools are kind of becoming part of the furniture,
Mm.
integrated into the fabric of our lives.
Right.
So our mission really for you listening is to get a handle on how these technologies are weaving into your routines and um, what the key things are to think about when you use them.
That's a great way to put it. And what really jumps out from the sources is just the sheer variety of ways these tools are already being used. In your world,
Uh-huh.
we're talking about platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity AI, Microsoft Copilot,
Yeah.
Midjourney, Runway.
Hmm.
It's quite a list.
It is.
And it's clear these aren't just like abstract tech concepts anymore. They're actively changing how many of you are getting everyday stuff done.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that a bit for everyone. The material we looked at talks about ChatGPT being a real workhorse, doesn't it?
It really does.
For all sorts of things you might be doing. People using it to map out home renovations or create shopping lists.
Even trying to figure out complicated things like taxes.
Exactly. It's almost like having this super adaptable assistant
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
What's your take on why it's being adopted so broadly, this conversational AI in daily life?
Well, I think if you connect it to your own experience,
Hmm.
right, it speaks to that basic human desire to make things easier.
Uh-huh. More efficient.
Yeah, less complicated.
Mm.
ChatGPT's knack for understanding just plain English and giving quick, sort of tailored responses.
Mm.
It just lowers the barrier for so many tasks you might
It's
face.
like brainstorming.
Sure, brainstorming ideas for a presentation, or maybe you're stuck on how to phrase an important email.
Right.
It can give you suggestions. I think that accessibility is probably a huge reason why so many of you are finding it useful.
Makes sense. And then you've got Perplexity AI. The material presents that as more than just a standard search
Right,
engine.
it's about sourced answers.
Yeah, sourced answers, concise summaries. That sounds really valuable if you're doing, say, research or just trying to properly understand a new topic.
Exactly. And that actually brings up a pretty important point about how you consume information these days, doesn't it?
Mm.
Perplexity is trying to offer something more curated, more verifiable, which is so key with the flood of information out there.
Sure.
And the fact that users are using it to pull together research, build arguments, well, that suggests people want deeper understanding, not just, quick sound bites.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, maybe to your professional life. Microsoft Copilot, that seems focused on boosting productivity within tools you probably use constantly, like Word or Excel.
Integration.
Yeah, helping refine writing or spot patterns in data. I mean, that could genuinely change how efficiently you work.
And what's interesting there from your perspective is how it's baked right into your existing workflows.
Hmm,
It's not some separate app you have to learn from scratch. It's becoming part of the software you already know.
right. Less friction.
Exactly. That seamless integration probably plays a big part in its potential impact on your day-to-day productivity.
Okay, and then there's the more creative side of things you might do. Mid-Journey and Runway get a mention.
Ah, the visual stuff.
Yeah, turning simple text prompts into images or even videos, that's quite something.
It is a leap.
It feels like it's making creative expression way more accessible, letting you bring visual ideas to life even if you don't have like specialized design skills.
That's a really key point for you, the listener. These tools are lowering those barriers to creating things.
Uh-huh.
Someone with a great idea can now actually visualize it without needing years of training in graphic design or video editing. That could be huge for lots of fields, or even just for how you express yourself personally.
And this is important. The material also flags a potential downside for you to think about, right?
Yes, the dependency aspect.
The idea that relying too heavily on these AI tools might sort of gradually weaken your own critical thinking, your problem-solving muscles, maybe.
Absolutely. That's something we should all be aware of in our own lives.
Yeah.
If we bring this back directly to you, it's crucial to consider the long-term effects. These tools offer amazing convenience now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's important for you to stay mindful of how much you might be, well, outsourcing your own thinking.
That phrase they used, chip away at our problem-solving skills.
Yeah, the dependence on automation potentially chipping away. It's a really relevant warning for your consideration.
So I guess for you listening, the main takeaway is generative AI isn't going away.
Nope, it's here.
It's getting more integrated into your life, offers some pretty remarkable possibilities.
All right.
But like any powerful tool, you need to use it thoughtfully. with the degree of self-awareness.
Precisely. For you, the challenge is finding that sweet spot, using the power of these tools to make your life better without letting them, diminish your own skills and critical thinking.
Okay, great point. Now, let's switch focus slightly and look at some specific language from the material we discussed. There were a few interesting expressions, phrasal verbs that came up.
Ah, yes, the vocab section.
Exactly. First one, map out, which means to plan or organize something in detail.
Right.
The example was she used ChatGPT to map out her monthly budget and daily routine. So for you, this shows using AI to create a detailed plan.
Yeah, that example really nails the planning aspect of map out for you, creating that detailed structure for something you're doing.
Okay. Next up, pull together, meaning to collect and organize information or resources.
Gathering things.
Yeah, the example. He pulled together all the research he needed using Perplexity AI, showing how you might use AI to gather info for a project.
Uh-huh. Pull together here really stresses collecting different bits of information and consolidating them effectively for your own use.
Then we had fine-tune, to make small changes to improve something's performance or quality.
Creaking it.
Pretty much. Example sentence. Copilot helped her fine-tune her presentation for maximum impact, relating to how you might refine your work with AI help.
Yeah, fine-tune in that context suggests making those small, careful adjustments to really optimize the end result of whatever you're working on.
Another good one. Bring to life, meaning to make something more vivid, real, or exciting.
Making ideas real.
Yes. The example. Midjourney can bring to life your imagination with a simple text prompt, showing how AI can help you visualize your ideas.
That perfectly captures that kind of transformative power of these creative AI tools for you turning thoughts in your head into actual visuals.
Okay, then there's chip away at, which means to gradually weaken or damage something.
The warning one.
That's the one. Example, dependence on automation may chip away at our problem-solving skills. A point for you to consider about those potential long-term effects we mentioned.
Right, highlighting those potential downsides of relying too much, which we talked about.
Yeah.
Something for you to definitely keep in mind as you use these tools.
And finally, stay mindful of, meaning to remain aware of something, especially when making decisions.
Be conscious.
Exactly, the example. It's important to stay mindful of how much you rely on AI in daily tasks. Just a good reminder for you as you navigate using AI.
Yeah, that phrase really underlines the need for your conscious, deliberate engagement with these technologies in your daily routine.
So as you navigate this increasingly AI-driven world, maybe keeping these expressions in mind can help you better understand and talk about the changes you're seeing all around you and in your own routines too.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.